Hi, my name is Paul Han. I'm a product manager here at AMX. We're coming to you from the development lab inside AMX today, and we're going to talk about the Enova DGX digital media switching systems. Now, specifically, we're going to talk about the Enova DGX 16 and 32 input and output board options. The 16s and 32s accept the same input and output boards, so we'll just talk about the boards, but keep in mind they're also usable on the 16s. So let's take a look at it. We're looking at a back of an Enova DGX 32 system. Now, inputs are on the left and outputs are on the right, and we go from left to right on the 32 for inputs and outputs. So let's start with the first board, which is an HDMI input board. This board accepts HDMI with HDCP and embedded audio from local source devices. Now, for all of the inputs and output boards, we should note that every board contains inputs or outputs for 4 different signals. So in this case, I'll have inputs for 4 local HDMI sources. I have a couple more of the same versions there, so we'll move till we find the new one, which is the DX-Link input board. Now, DX-Link inputs receive transmitted inputs from DX-Link transmitters. There's a couple different kinds of DX-Link transmitters. One of them is for digital signals only, and the other one is for multi-format, which accepts both digital and analog sources into the DX-Link transmitters. Those are also HDMI with HDCP compliant as well. Next, we see DVI transmitters, or input boards. Now, these input boards, although they're DVI connectors on them, can also accept HDMI with HDCP signals via an appropriate conversion cable. The next boards we see are fiber inputs. These receive transmitted inputs from DGX fiber transmitters over SC multimode fiber, up to 3,000 feet from the Enova DGX system. I should note that the fiber input boards or output boards don't handle HDCP, so I would use these for non-HDCP compliant source devices. But they're a great way to go either between facilities or between matrix switching systems. As we move to the output side, all of the output board styles that we just saw on the input side are available on the output side. So we'll see HDMI, DX-Link to receivers, DVI, and fiber outputs to fiber DGX receivers. Now, it's important to note that all of these outputs, either if they're transmitted at the receiver or if they're local outputs like the HDMI and the DVI, all of these boards have smart scale functionality built in. So there's a scaler for each output built into this board. But we'll talk about smart scale in a different video, but it's important to note that it's there. Finally, the audio insert extract boards. Now, on the left and the right-hand side of this matrix, we see the audio insert extract board slot. Now, because it's a special slot, I'm not consuming video input or output board positions. But what I do gain by adding these boards in either the input or the output side is a way to access the embedded audio on the first 16 inputs or the first 16 outputs, if I load it on the output side. And that allows me to get a hold of the embedded audio and remove it locally, or to add in audio to make it an embedded part of that HDMI line for video-only style inputs. It really adds a great deal of flexibility to the overall Enova DGX system. And again, it's a great option to use either on the input or output side or both. So that's really about it. The boards are really straightforward. But if you'd like to find out more information about the Enova DGX input-output boards, please feel free to go to www.amx.com to learn more. Thanks so much.